Now to our Bible reading for this morning. It comes from Luke's Gospel, chapter 2. It'll be familiar to you. So Joseph went up from the town of Nazareth in Galilee to Judea, to Bethlehem, the town of David, because he belonged to the house and the line of David. He went there to register with Mary, who was pledged to be married to him, and she was expecting a child. While they were there, the time came for the baby to be born, and she gave birth to her firstborn, a son. She wrapped him in cloths and placed him in a manger because there was no room for them in the inn. Poor old Mary and Joseph. Well, actually, poor young Mary and Joseph, because they were only very young people at the time. They had to walk for miles and miles to get to Bethlehem. It was a long and tiring journey. And like getting all those Christmas shopping done, it was a very fraught time. But Mary and Joseph never gave up. They were not considered of any importance to the people around them. Mary and Joseph actually were a bit of a nuisance. They were getting in the way of busy people. They were pushed to one side, into the stable out the back of the inn. It was a long and tiring journey for Mary and Joseph, but they never gave up believing what God had in store for them. Our spiritual life, too, should be a long walk, a marathon, not a sprint, because getting to know who Jesus is can take time and patience. And at times it will be a tiring walk. At times things go wrong and we face hardship. Mary and Joseph had to press on with their journey, never giving up. And we have to press on with our spiritual journey too, never giving up. Otherwise, we will not arrive at that place, that point in our lives where Jesus needs us to be in order for him to meet with us. Here is a story of someone else who never gave up. Like any good mother, when Joanna found out that another baby was on the way, she did what she could do to help her 3-year-old son, Matthew, prepare for the arrival of a new brother or sister. They found out that the baby was going to be a girl. And day after day, night after night, Matthew, who was a big fan of the X Factor and who loved to sing, every night Matthew sang songs to his sister in Mummy's tummy. Well, the sister was in the tummy, not Matthew. You get that bit, don't you? Well, the pregnancy progressed normally for Joanna. Joanna was an active member of her local church. Right up until a few days before Christmas. Then the labour pains came. Every 5 minutes, then every minute. But complications arose during the delivery. There were hours of labour. A C-section would be required. Finally, Matthew's little sister is born, but she's in a very serious condition. With a siren howling in the night, the ambulance rushes the infant to the neonatal intensive care unit at a major hospital. The days creep by. The little girl gets worse. The paediatric specialist tells the parents, "There is very little hope. Please be prepared for the worst." Joanna and her husband had fixed up a room in their home as a nursery for the new baby. Now they might be planning her funeral instead. Matthew kept begging his parents to let him see his sister. "I want to sing to her," he said. After 2 weeks in intensive care, it looks as if a funeral will come before the week is over. Matthew keeps nagging about singing to his sister, but children are never allowed in the intensive care unit. Then Joanna makes up her mind. She will take Matthew to see his sister, whether they like it or not. If he doesn't see his sister now, he may never see her alive. She dresses Matthew up in a hospital gown and marches him into the ICU. He looks like a walking laundry basket. The head nurse recognizes him as a child and bellows, "No children allowed! Get that child out of here!" The instincts of a mother rise up strongly in Joanna, and the usually mild-mannered lady glares steel-eyed into the face of the head nurse. And she says, "He is not leaving until he sings to his sister." Joanna takes Matthew to his sister's bedside. He gazes at the tiny infant losing the battle to live, and he begins to sing. In the pure-hearted voice of a 3-year-old, Matthew sings, "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are grey." Instantly, the baby girl responds. Her pulse rate becomes calm and steady. "Keep on singing, Matthew," says Mum. "You never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away." The ragged, strained breathing becomes as smooth as a kitten's purr. "Keep on singing, Matthew." "The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms." Matthew's little sister relaxes as rest, healing rest, seems to sweep over her. "Keep on singing, Matthew." Tears are coursing down the face of the bossy head nurse. Joanna glows with hope. "You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. Please don't take my sunshine away." Funeral plans are scrapped. The next day, the very next day, the little girl is well enough to go home. The local newspaper called it the miracle of a brother's song. The medical staff just called it a miracle. Joanna called it a miracle of God's love. Just as Mary and Joseph never gave up on their journey with God, we must never give up on the people we love, because Jesus never gives up on us. Amen.